Eritrean inmate serving life for fatal hostile attack discovered dead in UK prison cell. A man serving a life sentence for fatally attacking a father of 6 has been found dead inside his prison cell in Hertfordshire. Mehrtab Zemakael, originally from Eritrea, had been jailed after he was convicted over the 2013 killing of 42-year-old Gary Briscoe. The incident happened inside a hostel in Whitechapel, East London, where both men were staying at the time. The victim suffered multiple stab injuries and was pronounced dead at the scene. Zemakael was later arrested after a police search and sentenced to life behind bars, with a minimum term set at 15 years. He had been held at HMP The Mount since 2018. According to an official investigation, prison staff had no ongoing concerns about his behavior or well-being. Reports suggest he had been engaging with mental health support and was considered stable, with minimal medication required. He was also described as cooperative and regularly worked in the prison kitchens. However, a few months before his death, he was involved in an incident with another inmate during a disagreement, which led to a temporary loss of privileges. Despite that, no warning signs were raised about his mental state. On June 16th, other prisoners alerted staff after being unable to access his cell. Officers entered and found him unresponsive. He was later pronounced dead. An inquest has since concluded that his death was self-inflicted. Officials say there was no indication beforehand that he was at increased risk.
Of course. هو كمزيلو مشقة درارهم قبنا حوي فنش أحمد سنجلي في اللي ودي أريد تشم أم تحلو أمين
بتي حدني ميل حوي بيدها يا أوزع حلفة من شكم دفلت تناي نت تناي نت تناي دي بوسلنت زقات مقاتي ممارتي ملو بيدا سمعي أنا إذا وشت مقرم بزح دخان نقر كم دول خرد نقري مالتي يقد حجي تيم صلاة مالتيو تبا يسميلكم كم زيرو وهم تبا يرملكم لهم عاد شفت وروا عليكم يا زابيدونا بوان عرك شفت وروا تقيلكم كريوكم مالتي زخانة ميلي قبل بيسفر.
Okay, breaking news. Switzerland have just confirmed a case of hantavirus. And it's kind of a good news, bad news situation. The good news, let's start there, is that the person who tested positive was on the cruise ship when the outbreak happened. So fortunately, currently, we are still within this bubble of ship passengers. Now, the bad news is that the test results show that it is the Andes strain. That's the one that can very rarely go from human to human. Now, South Africa, hey guys, so you guys got wrapped up in this. They are also saying that 2 patients that they have tested, which were also from the ship, have the Andes strain as well. But again, no need to currently panic because this is not like season 1. Now, I don't want to detract from the seriousness of this disease and the fact that lives are at risk, but if I can offer you any peace of mind, it's that you're not going to wake up tomorrow and hear that they've called a lockdown, and you're not going to get any time.
Hantavirus, Tash, is a virus we've known about since the Korean War. There are 2 types. There's one type you get in the Americas, which was more recently discovered in the 90s, and there's the type you get in the rest of the world. Now, unfortunately, the type that seems to be on the cruise is the more serious type, which causes a lung infection where you can get difficulty breathing, and it can have quite a high death rate if you do get it. So the unusual thing about this is the person-to-person spread. So this virus, wherever it is in the world, it's normally transmitted to humans through rodents. So the secretions, droppings, urine of rodents that gets inhaled. But occasionally there's one strain which is found in Argentina, which we think may be relevant to this cruise, called the Andes strain, which can occasionally be transmitted person to person. Usually that's in very close quarters, so people who are sexual partners, kissing, sharing the same room, etc., that sort of situation. So it is possible it's person to person. Look, obviously it's very unfortunate for people on the crew, and the other thing about it, it can have an incubation period where you get the time between getting infected and getting sick, which can take up to 6 to 8 weeks, although it's normally 2 or 3 weeks, so that's something they'd be worried about. But the two things we shouldn't worry about is it's not a new virus. We've known about this virus for some decades, so we know how it normally behaves. And the other thing about it is that it doesn't easily spread from person to person, even though the Andes strain can. So that's good to know. Certainly there may be more cases on the cruise if it is person to person, but as I said, not easily transmissible between person to person. But we also have to exclude the fact that there may be rodents on the ship leading to more cases. But yes, in terms of a pandemic and something like COVID, we certainly shouldn't be worrying. Of course, the only caveat is whenever we have an unusual outbreak, and hantavirus on a cruise is an unusual thing, we need to make sure that the virus hasn't changed and isn't behaving more differently and isn't more easily transmissible between people. So that's what the investigation.
Both countries, as you know, are facing massive internal challenges, and essentially both sides now see the other as supporting their armed opponents and are increasingly openly accusing them of doing so. And that obviously creates a very dangerous dynamic between the two countries, and risks making their own internal challenges much worse, and also makes both of their conflicts even more regionalized. I think when it comes to the Sudan war itself, the outside players are now so deeply involved that some of the de-escalation needs to come from outside within the broader region. And that has been, for instance, a focus of U.S. diplomacy, but that has yet to gain traction. In terms of the relations in this escalation between Sudan and Ethiopia, the leaders, General Burhan and Prime Minister Abiy, they have the ability to de-escalate this themselves. Unfortunately, I think they might be being emboldened and encouraged on this path towards escalation by their outside backers. But they have shown in the past that when they need to, they're able to meet together and to de-escalate things, because really this is a situation that benefits neither if both sides get more deeply involved in the other civil war.
أنا تزارب هاي ترجون تمزجي بالله ده الأوروب جمر عش يوغندا تدخل نعم هاي كي تماركة هاي تمت international driver's license كي حسكا قبل يوغندا تمرتي نعم ماكاري university ولا حانتي semester تراي I don't know how much it costs حانتي semester تراي تمزجي بكا drop out تخوندو كابوت ورقة تهدلول كان نابزغت متخلقها شعو نايزفتنا يتبهل لني خايت easy access إلكا تقطولو ما قدو يجو you know what I mean. Take an advantage of the systems created in this world. ورقة تقبل لكم إلكم بكابو بولن دافلحكم يهم تدقسوا لما هم بيوغندا كان بلد تندين
بورنا بكسادي that's my swag nigga real nigga from the black nigga يحسوني أنا أيكونكم بوس nigga سنة 4 شوعته دقاسوا للنيجا حلمي جنزب كالا نجر حنتي